The South African Council of Churches today held a mass prayer service in Soweto at the Grace Bible Church that saw itself attracting political leaders of various political parties. Natasha Phiri, who is at the site at the moment, SABC News reporter, brings us more of the political parties' reactions that attended the National Day of Prayer. Natasha, who are you with?
Well, I'm actually now joined by Colleen Makubele. Of course, we know you as a former DA councillor. Cope. Sorry, I beg your pardon, Cope. I'm so sorry. There's so many political parties that are here. A former Cope councillor. Of course, you've got your own political party, Sarah. As the leader of the political party, you've heard what various religious leaders have had actually to say. And we heard Mr. from the IEC just basically saying that, you know, and talking about the integrity of the IEC because it's come under the spotlight. He had said that as the IEC, they've put in integrity tests that results can never be stolen. What is your reaction to that?
Look, we really do trust in the integrity of the IEC. They've proven themselves over the years that they can conduct these elections. They've given us an assurance of the processes they've been through to ensure that the integrity test is passed. So as Sarah, who believes in God, and we've seen the IEC being very transparent throughout this whole process, onboarding us even as a new party, we have no doubt that these elections will be free and fair, and they will ensure that we are all protected, and the values that we want to uphold of ethics, godly leadership will emerge.
Colleen, thank you so much for your time, and apologies for that error.
Thank you. No
that was, of course, Colleen Makubele, who is the leader of SARA. Remember, there are 11 independent candidates that are contesting this year's elections, and one of them is JJ Sising, all the way from the Free State, and you came all the way from the Free State to here to receive those prayers, JJ.
Yeah, I mean, it was very holy ceremony, and thanks to the IEC and the work they've done, we're very happy with the work they've done so far. And I think for us as independents, I mean, it's a learning experience. Every day is a learning experience, and they've been there every step of the way. And as far as their integrity is concerned, we're happy. You know, we haven't seen anything that would make us question their integrity. In fact, they've been more helpful to us, I think, more than anything. You know, I mean, they even create something as small as a WhatsApp group where we can speak to the senior executive of the IEC and ask any questions. So it's been really a transparent process for us, so we're happy so far.
So JJ, my understanding is that you're contesting in the Free State province only, you're not contesting for the other 200 seats in the National Assembly.
Yeah, so I'm contesting for one of the 30 seats in the Free State Provincial Legislature. I am the only independent candidate contesting for the Provincial Legislature in the Free State. And it's quite, it's well received so far. You know, the people of the Free State are welcoming us with warm hands. Our message is being heard. You know, we work into communities from Kwakwa to Metsimaholo to Kharib. You walk in there, you think people don't know who you are, but you know, they do. They've been listening to SABC radio, they've been seeing us in the news, and they're happy that people like ourselves, young people, are actually standing up and fixing the rot that's been happening in the Free State. And one of the craziest things that we came across yesterday was the new reports from the Auditor General that the Free State Health Department actually is paying damages of 5.8 billion rand in like people that are hurt from operations from hospitals. It's crazy, you know. So our people know this information, and they're happy that we keep coming up with these information and sharing it with them, and they're just excited as a young person actually standing up and trying to make a difference in the province.
Okay, JJ, let me just quickly take this conversation to the UDM leader, Bantu Olomis. I'll just ask my colleagues in the office, just please let this be the last interview, one more interview. Bantu, you've heard what the church leaders had to actually say. One reverend actually said something so resounding to say that, you know, the leaders that were elected in 1994 have not held their promises since now. Sorry about that. Apologies. Those that were elected in 1994.
Are you recording?
Yes, this is live, Baba. We are live on national TV. Askis, Baba. Apologies for that. Guys, you're making a noise. Apologies for that, Babantu. But you've heard what the church leaders had to say, holding you guys as political leaders accountable, saying that since 1994, they've elected you into office, but you haven't held those promises.
Well, the mandate has been given to the current ruling party, and it's upon them to account to the nation. We have played our role. Some of us, we have been betting on a wicket of anti-corruption. It is precisely for that reason that I have accepted an invitation to come and run for Premier in the Eastern Cape, to go and clean that province, which at one stage was leading in the struggle.
And, when we've seen certain media reports recently, some questioning the integrity of, the IEC. And we heard Musutumie by saying that, there mustn't be attacks on the work of the IEC. It also said that as the IEC, they've put in integrity tests that results can never be stolen, meaning that the results of the elections can never be rigged.
Well, we cannot agree more with that. On that score, because the former president of this country and the Secretary General of the former Secretary General of the ANC, Ace Magashule, have said they know what methods are used by the IEC for them to win. So,
are these grievances that you've raised with the IEC because you sit within the NPLC?
I'm not interested in that exercise. We've been complaining all the years. Nobody listens.
So what do you think about this prayer session today?
Good session, and I hope that the prayers will be heard by the Almighty and that the power will be shared after 29th of May amongst the political parties.
And how well do you think that the UDM is going to do?
Well, I'm optimistic we will do better this time around.
Okay. Thank you so much. I'm trying to get other political party leaders there. Of course, that was the president of the UDM, Mr. Banto Olomisa, not so confident in the work of the IEC. I'll just ask my colleague Wazimanzi if you can just probably go down and get more reactions from various political parties. I've seen representatives there from the EFF, as well as the ANC, and as well as more independent candidates, not just only JJ Sising from the Free State, but various other political candidates that are also contesting 4 seats in various other provinces. And hopefully we'll just get a glimpse of those various political parties. But just to remind you, and of course to our SABC viewers, this was a national prayer day for the May 29 polls, not only for them, but of course the work of the IEC, I beg your pardon, and various political parties and church leaders actually calling for those political parties and independent candidates to be held accountable by the nation. You would remember that the church, those in the Christian faith believe that the church has an important role to actually play in this democracy. And of course the church is the one that actually should hold our political parties accountable. And of course we saw the congregants here praying for those various political party leaders and of course the independent candidates, as well as the IEC. And what you're seeing right now are those various political party leaders going onto stage. And of course this is a photo opportunity, but what we saw earlier on was a very nice picture of church leaders just praying and extending their hands to these various political parties, as well as the police. And we've heard there Fanima Semola just saying and ensuring South Africans that from the police's side, they've ensured that everything will go according to plan. Of course, the police's work has actually started before the elections. And of course, one thing that he mentioned that actually caught my attention was that special courts will be established for those who commit crimes that are electoral related. Remember, all these political parties had actually signed a code of conduct, earlier last month to ensure that they abide by the rules of the commission. And if they do not, they will be held accountable. They will be taken to the electoral court, and of course, fines or a criminal offence, or they could be actually held behind bars if they actually do not prescribe to the electoral code of conduct. I'll just ask my colleague Wazimanzi to walk with me so you can somewhat see all the political parties that are actually in attendance today. Of course, you've got representatives from the Democratic Alliance, you've got representatives from the EFF, the ANC. I can see the Premier Banyaza Lesufi also wearing his hat as the ANC chairperson in the province of Gauteng. With that said, this is what we've been doing today as the SABC News, and from us here, from the Grace Bible Church, it's back to you in studio.